All right, guys. So here is a very quick tutorial on how to create your own logo using two programs. The first is going to be Adobe Express. You type in Adobe Express, and the second is called Canva. So we're going to start with Adobe Express. When you click on it, just click on um, the link, the first link that comes up. My recommendation is to create a bookmark when you get it. Okay. So when you want to create a bookmark as you're logging in, log in, create a bookmark, and also you can double finger click, add a folder, and we'll just call it graphic design, or how about just call it software? Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to have a folder called software. That way, everything that you use goes into one folder. So what we're going to do is we're going to log into Adobe real quick, and all you really have to do is you got to click on logo, and then it's going to pull up logos that I've made, but also it's going to pull up stock logos you can use. So like if you want to go in here and look at all the templates, click on view all. It's got some really cool templates. Like let me click on this one, and then you just go in and kind of adjust what you want. So, for example, if I want to just drop my name in there, I'm going to double finger click, and then I'm going to type in, I'll say Jeremy McGuire. Okay, and then in this case, I might need to make the font just a little bit smaller. So then you come over here and just use your common sense and change the font. Um, you can fill it with a different color, um, whatever you want. Like, for example, if you want to add a primary color, you can add a primary color like that. It's got all kinds of different things you can use. If you want to go to custom, and this is where if you want to use like Crawford Green and you know the hex code, which is 00B050, then you can use Crawford Green. Okay. So that's the code that gets to that. So you can see it there. Then you have your background color. And then the next part is you can go in and kind of add, like this is where you're going to take some creative ingenuity where you might have to delete that and go in and add text. So for example, if you're going Jeremy McGuire, I'm going to hit a J, see what that looks like. Let's go back and try it one more time. So I'm going to hit Control D or Z to undo. There's J. And let's go with a font that is easier to be seen and things that we can work with. So I'll just use this one and we're going to make it larger. Okay, so let me figure this out here. One thing that I am going to do, I'm going to take his background. I want to change the background to like if you want to go opacity with it. I don't really want a dark background. Um, I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do with a background, but be mindful about what you're doing with your background. Don't get really dark with your background when you're starting to create a logo. Okay. So in this case, I'm just kind of freestyling here, just kind of working it. And I've got it selected and, I'm going large on font. So I might just go 100. And then I'm just kind of playing around with the sizes. And then once you get it to where you want, then you can be right there. And then I can move it around once you get the arrow, so I'm going to move it right there. And then once you get it to the size you want, then you can hit Control D to duplicate that, and then you can come down and make your other letter. So this is a collegiate font, and you see this on the walls at Crawford. So there's a lot of things you can do with it. I can, tuck in the M right there. I can make it smaller. One thing I like about this font is like if I do it right, like I can connect the J and the M with little to no issues. And if you notice, like I can move it up and it'll help me center it. And then I'm going to put an M. And then, like, for example, I can nudge it over just by hitting my arrow and connect. So that kind of makes it look like it's supposed to be connected. Now, in this case, I'm going to select that. And if you notice it moves everything. So I want to undo that. I don't want to move everything. So you might have to like move the M over a little bit to center it. where you want, and then the J where you want, okay? And then that's so it's a little bit off, so I'm gonna make sure that I get it just right. Okay, so I'm straight. In this case, I need to move that back over, which I need to move this back over. You wanna make sure everything's like you want it, okay? Because this is a logo you're gonna be using for a while, okay? Then let's say you're done, you're gonna download and you're just gonna use PNG, and that's what it looks like. Okay, software number 2 is called Canva. Log in the same way. It's canva.com. Log in using your credentials. After you log in using your credentials, then you can do the exact same thing. It just set up a little bit differently, but it's kind of the same process. Go to search, type in logo. It's going to pop in a bunch of stock logos. One thing I do like about Canva, it's got a little bit better stock photos you can choose from. Like, if I want to go to this one, you customize the template, then you can go in there and, kind of throw. I like this one because it's a circle and it kind of ties things in. So I'm going to double finger click. I'm going to keep the script like it is. And then in this case, I might have to highlight my name and just make it small enough to where it'll fit. Okay. Now, don't get caught up in the color scheme yet. You can do some different things with it. And remember, a logo brand's what you do. So I'm just going to make it smaller. There you go. And then you have to click off of it. Then I click back on it. And then I'm going to tuck that G under the Y. Okay. And then in this case, like, it says established 2023. I'm going to say established 1973 because that's when I was born, right? So in this case, you could do your thing there. I'll leave it as that. I'm going to click share. Okay. Now, when you download it, there's a couple ways you can do it. In this case, we're going to stay with the PNG. You can do a JPEG. You can do all these different. You can do a video if you want to animate it. So in that case, I'm going to save JPEG. And now for videos, you can also click on transparent background. And this is kind of what you're going to get. Once it downloads and it takes a little longer, then you're going to see the transparent background. See, and that looks really good. That took away from that takes away from like the square. So that would fit a lot better in a video. Okay. If you want to keep the box around that little navy box, then you click on that. Don't click on transparent, and then you'll have it. Now, I will say this. My recommendation, we've been talking about it, this last but not least, always go in and save your logo. Like, so for example, I might just say logo newest or logo 2324. So in your mind, every time you pull up logo 2324, whether you use Adobe 2324, then you have it. Okay. Now I'm going to download it. There it is there. I'm going to download this one. There it is there. And I'm going to click transparent like that. Right. It's good. Now, in this case, I'm going to go with my Google Drive. I'm going to click new, file upload, and then I'm going to grab the ones that I want. Okay. Now that I have them saved. Now, the ones that I want, I didn't even save. I didn't save the ones that were called logo 2324. So I need to go back in and do that. So here we go. Yeah, here it is right there. Logo 23, logo 24. So that way, if I ever go in there and type in logo in the search, okay, and I didn't put in any specific folder, I can just go logo 23, logo 24, and it should pop up those two. There they are. There's the one from Adobe, which is pretty nice, but I like the one from Canva better. So it's got some things you can do with it. So there's your logo. Make sure you have your logo on the bottom right of all videos that you make in class.